Alright, here we go. This is the big moment, guys. How is y'all's day going? Mine's going pretty well. Today is a big day because today is the day where we make our Pixar movies tier list. Okay? So basically, I'm a big Pixar fan, right? I've seen every Pixar movie except for Soul, which I'm gonna see like tomorrow or maybe the day after, something like that. And I'm really excited for it. But Pixar is like my favorite company for movies like ever. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna do some tier list videos now because I feel like doing some tier list videos. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rank every Pixar movie. You know how it works if you've ever seen it before. It goes from S, A, B, C, and D. S is the best and D is the worst. But just know for this tier list, I don't think any of these movies are bad at all. I like all of these movies, but I'm gonna put some in D because some of them have to go in D. Okay, so don't hate me for it. But actually, no, hate me for it. I don't care. Anyways, we're gonna start off just from the way that the tier list maker already has it. So that means we start with Up. So Up is actually my favorite out of all of the Pixar movies. So I'm inclined to put it in S. I might change these around later, but I'm thinking right now, since like this is just my opinion. I'm not putting them like the objective best to worst. This is just what I think of them. So like I think in reality it's probably like A or B. I would say A. But for me, I love it. It's my favorite, and I think it's really funny. So I'm gonna put it in S, because you know Russell and Carl and their wacky antics. You know, it's going in S. Okay. Also, like that opening scene is iconic. Like, if you've seen Up, you've seen the opening scene. You know how good that is, and I think that carries over through the rest of the movie. Okay. Toy Story. Is this the first Toy Story? I think it is, because there's no number. Yeah, this is the first Toy Story. Okay. So the first Toy Story is actually my second favorite out of all the Toy Stories, which is a controversial take. But, I mean, second least favorite. So, I mean, I think it was really good though. Like, a lot of people, I think objectively they would put it A. Like, it's probably an actually A, but me, I get bored in certain parts of the movie. And since it's kind of dated as well, like with the animation, and I'm someone who really appreciates good animation. I mean, I can't blame it, obviously, because it was really early, but I'm gonna put it in B, because that's where I think it belongs. Okay, Monsters University. I like I didn't mean to put it there. I actually like this movie a lot more than most people. I think it's really funny in a lot of areas. But like, I remember when I rewatched this, because I rewatched a lot of these for this video, I realized that it actually, I was just inflating how good it was in my head, and I think in reality it's somewhere in a C or a D, but I still have a soft spot for it, because there's just something about this movie, and like that party scene that I just really like, so I'm gonna put it in C for now. Finding Dory. So, this is, I don't like Finding Dory, like as much as I like Finding Nemo, or a lot of these movies in general, but when I rewatched it, I was like, okay, this is not as bad, and it actually does have some decent jokes in there. And I know a lot of people would put this actually in like S or A, but me personally, I can't put it up there, so I'm thinking either B or C, because I don't think it's definitely not a D, even though I used to think it was D, but I don't know. Great voice acting though. Finding Nemo, like the series, always has had some of the best voice acting in Pixar. People are gonna hate me for putting it in C, but I'm gonna put it in C. I think it's better than Monsters University though, so I'll leave it there. Next, we have the predecessor, Finding Nemo. I love Finding Nemo. I think it is really, really good. I know right off the bat that I'm gonna put this in A, even though it's probably an S tier. It's probably one of the best Pixar movies, I think. I think it gets underrated a lot because people forget about how funny this movie is and how heartwarming it is too. So if you relate to Finding Nemo at all, which adults and kids can, it's up here with Pixar movies. Okay. Cars 2 is D. It is easily the worst Pixar movie. I think this is a consensus with everyone that Cars 2 is easily the worst Pixar movie. It took Mater and made him the main character. I actually didn't I didn't hate the storyline of this one actually that much, but it is easily the least funny and worst Pixar movie. I don't think I have to explain this one that much actually. It's really bad. The Incredibles. Okay. This one is also gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I actually liked the second Incredibles more than I liked the first one, which I know is gonna give me, like, it's gonna lose me so much street cred, but that's actually how I feel. But I think these are two of the best Pixar movies as well, so I'm gonna put it in A. I actually do like it more than Finding Nemo though. Actually, no I don't, that's a lie. But it is a super funny movie, and it is, no, I do like it more than Finding Nemo now that I think about it. Okay. Ratatouille, this is easily an S tier movie. Up is my favorite, so I'm gonna leave it there, but I know a lot of people feel like Ratatouille is easily the best Pixar movie. And it is really, really good. I rewatched it. The animation is so beautiful for its time, man. It's so good. And it's funny too. It's a really heartwarming story as well. Like, that's something that I'm gonna be saying about like every Pixar movie though, to be honest with you, except for like maybe one or two. Like Cars 2 is not that heartwarming if I'm keeping it real with you, but I'll leave Ratatouille up there. The Good Dinosaur. This is one that also a lot of people hate. I don't know. I actually really liked it when I saw it in theaters, and I watched some other people review it, and they all had pretty much negative opinions of it. But if I'm going by what I think, and I'm putting it in B. I know a lot of people would say it's down there with Cars 2, but I actually really enjoyed this movie when I saw it. I thought, although it does follow the trope of, like, spoiler alert, of, like, the dad dying or the mom dying at the beginning or losing a parent, something like that, but, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot funnier than people give it credit for. Cars. Cars was one of my favorite movies ever when I was a wee lad. And so if you had asked me this when I was like 5, Cars would be like S tier at the very top. But I've watched it and my opinion went down of it slightly, but I still think it's underrated by people. So I'm gonna actually put it in B tier. I think most people would put it in C or even D. But I think that's just unfair. Like, when you think about all the iconic scenes that you remember from Cars, if you've ever seen the movie, you remember, like, with all the what are they called? Like, the cars that I'm talking about when it's, like, nighttime and they have all the neon on them. That scene, and then the racing scene with what's his name? Chick? Something like that. I don't know, I forgot. Anyways, Cars 3. This is also controversial, but I did not like Cars 3, even though there's Ramirez, which, is kind of ironic, but I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna leave it in C tier because I really enjoyed the animation in this movie, even though I didn't like the actual story all that much. This is usually people put this better than what the
together.
No ad. Why? Sorry, there's an ad and I'm playing my lo-fi mix. Okay. Next we have A Bug's Life. This one's also gonna be super controversial, but I did not like I did not like A Bug's Life at all. But I did like it more than all of these. So I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier, but I actually don't like this movie all that much. If I'm keeping it real with you, which I've already, I've said this is my opinion, guys. I know a lot of people think this movie is B or A, or like maybe even bottom of S, I've heard, but no, I cannot put it up there. I do not think this movie is all that funny. There are some parts that are enjoyable to me, but it's mostly negative. Anyways, Incredibles 2. I really like this movie. I thought the animation was gorgeous in this movie. I loved the way this movie looks, and I think the soundtrack was also really good. Edna was super funny in this movie. I think she was funnier in this movie than she was in Incredibles. So this is gonna upset people, but I'm putting it above Incredibles 2. Now, the only reason that I would reconsider this is because the villain in Incredibles 1 Syndrome is way better than Screenslaver Incredibles 2. But the action scenes in Incredibles 2 are, oh man, they look so good. I really like the storyline in Incredibles 2 as well. That one's gonna make people mad, I'm sorry. Okay. Next is WALL-E. And I actually used to think this was a D tier movie when I was a kid. When I thought Cars was S tier, I thought Wall-E was D tier. But I have matured a lot since then, and I know now how mistaken I was. And I'm actually gonna put, if I would put these, I would put these equal, actually, Wall-E and Ratatouille. I think these are the two movies that most people would say are the best in Pixar's, you wouldn't say discography, right? Not cinematography? That's the art of, anyways, you know what I mean. In all of their collection. It would usually be Wall-E or Ratatouille, but for me, I love Up, so yeah, it's staying there. It's staying there. Alright, next we have Monsters, Inc. And I do like Monsters, Inc. a lot. I think it's super funny, and I'm actually, I know the perfect spot for it. It's right between both of The Incredibles, because Mike and Sully, it also looks really good for the time as well, if we're considering how much effort it took to animate this movie. I think it looks really good for the time that it was in. And also Mike is hilarious, Sully, they have great chemistry, Boo's a great character. What's his name, Randall? I think Randall's the name of the purple lizard guy. He's a great villain as well, so he's gonna stay right there. Monsters Inc. I think Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo are the only two that I'm for sure certain about so far on this list. And Cars 2, it's not good. Anyways, Inside Out. This is one that I actually, when I first saw it, I also didn't like it that much. I would have said it was a C most of the time, and up until recently I watched it again, I would say it is a C. So, but now I've seen it, I've chewed it around in my mouth, and I'm gonna put it in A because I actually really do like this movie. Inside Out, it's really, really creative, and it also does look really, really good too. And when I take all of that into consideration, with like the actual message that it has, it is pretty good, and I can't deny that. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of A tier. I know a lot of people would also put this in S tier because this one is a movie that a lot of people hold close to their hearts, and I can respect it. I can respect it. Coco. Coco is immediately S tier for me. It is easily my second favorite out of all of Pixar's discography. It is so good. The soundtrack, there is not a single skip on this soundtrack. It is so beautiful. I think it's easily the best. Is it the only Pixar musical? Yeah, it is. And I think they did it, wait, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think I am, though. None of these are musicals, right? Yeah, none of these are musicals. Coco's the only one. I think it's super good. The Day of the Dead theme is so much better in this movie than it is in any other movie. It also looks freaking gorgeous as well. Like, every second of this movie looks freaking fantastic. The animation was so good in this movie. Okay, next we're going to Toy Story 2. I hated this movie. This one's gonna make people mad, but this movie was so bad in my opinion. I think it was better than Cars 2, but I have never liked Toy Story 2, and I know people are gonna hate me for it, but I'm sorry. I do not like this movie at all. So it's just not as funny as any of the other Toy Stories to me. I just don't think it's as good at all. The animation didn't improve by all that much from the first one. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I don't think it's. I know that one's also probably controversial because people like Jesse and what's that guy's name? The guy who's a gold panner. I forgot his name. Anyways, Toy Story 3. Most people would consider this S tier. Most people would say it's the best Toy Story out of all of them, and for a time I agreed. But man, I don't want to fill up A tier, but I feel like it is A tier. And actually, I'm gonna move it up above Finding Nemo. Ooh, yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it above Incredibles. Yeah, I like this order. Okay. Brave. I love this movie. Actually, I thought, up until the bear stuff happened, I was ready for this movie to be an S tier. I love the way this movie was going, and I actually think it's really gorgeous too. I just wish this movie didn't go the bear direction, because I think this movie had so much freaking potential. I was in love with this movie when I was watching it at the beginning, like originally, and even when I rewatch it now, I think it's so good and I think it has so much potential to be funny, but up until that bear stuff happened, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It just goes downhill from there, and it loses all of its charm for me, and I just... Nah. The witch is good, though. It's a good character. Anyways, onward. So, this one, I think, is pretty much the definition of a solid, average Pixar movie. The storyline is really good. It looks really, really good as well. It's not as groundbreaking as I would expect it to be for where Pixar's at right now. But I think literally right in the middle is where it'll go here. I think it's on the same level as the first Toy Story, so I'm gonna put it above it just because it's newer, and maybe I need more time for it to grow on me. This one is also gonna make people mad, but I love Toy Story 4. I think it is so freaking good. If I was trying to not get killed, I would put it in S tier. I loved this movie so much. I think it is easily, not the best looking Pixar movie, but like it's up there with the way the Coco looks. It's so beautiful. The animation for this, it's just, I think it's really funny as well. I'm gonna have to put it at the top of A, even though this is gonna make people mad. I think it's better than Toy Story 3, and I love this movie. The only bad part that I can say about this movie is that they made Buzz Lightyear stupid, which was, not the best decision, because I think he had already developed past that, but I can forgive it because of how good it looks. So guys, let me do a little editing here. I think where it's at right now, I would definitely move Cars up, and I'm actually going to drop Brave down to right. No, this is what I think, so I'm putting it right there. A little bit below average in C tier. And I think this is what I'm satisfied with, so come at me in the comments, give me your opinions if you think that this is ridiculous, or are all of these kind of reasonable. I am really satisfied with the way this came out. I think I would stand by all of these right now, just as my opinion. Obviously, if I was making an objective list, a lot of these would be moved around, but by objective I mean like the consensus or whatever. But yeah, this is, I think all of this is fair. I am proud of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like these tier list type videos. I was just doing this just for fun because I felt like it, but tell me what you guys think. And I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.